All right, world. Back at it. Didn't post yesterday. I was out of town. Holidays. Spent it with family. Got to go see my mama. Got to show her I was on TV. She gave me this beautiful hoodie. Triple thick, heavyweight. I'm very proud of it. No, yeah. Can't stop thinking about building saws. So I'm home and we're in the shop and we're going to keep building saws. Got it torn down again. This is like the 5th or 6th time this week, but I've had a lot of things on my mind regarding simple performance upgrades. I've got the time, I've got the space, I've got the wood, I've got the tools, I got the saw. So I am going to try to do everything I possibly can to this saw without porting. Just to see what kind of gains I can get when I got it where I want it. And I think she's screaming. Then we'll port it. And we'll go over some of my theories to that and porting and why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. I guess the hopes for this saw is there will be another horizontal hustle or whatever hustle it is. I'm hoping he does 50cc, 60cc, 70cc. And when that time comes, maybe we'll take a trip down there. Maybe we'll just send it out. But yeah, what I want to do right now is I got the cylinder head off. I'm going to widen my exhaust. Not a lot. Sorry about the lighting. Yeah, what I want to do is basically, I'm in a bad angle, guys, so I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? You'll see what I'm done. I'm just going to flare the edges a little bit. And I'm going to shave these skirts down and do a little more hogging on the transfers. I don't know if we showed you what's going on in there. That was a little theory that I'm testing. I don't want to say I saw a massive gain, but I did feel the saw pick up a little more crack in the throttle, a little more responsive. That's really what I'm looking for. How fast I can go from 0 to 100 in the cut. So yeah, I am gonna. Another thing, guys, is this is the Chinese cylinder. When I got it, there is plate chipping. In between my primary and secondary transfers, there's a plate chipped off that showed up on the piston on both sides. And there's a little bit on the exhaust side. And they just, the way they chamfered everything, it's ugly. It's an ugly cylinder. But this is a sacrificial cylinder to me. If this saw blows up, or the only thing I'm concerned about is my bottom end, my bearings. I have pistons. I have another cylinder. I will be able to keep this saw in production, but it's production is a little bit slow right now. We got a couple jobs coming up, but they're trim jobs. People just need a couple limbs off of their houses. One's a takedown, but she'll be running for that. So look at, I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna do my thing to it. Let's see if we can get you a good look. It probably won't be too noticeable. I'm gonna take a little off of here. I'm gonna take a little out of this corner. You can see where my Permatex is, right? You see that little, I know my camera's blurry, but you see this little smudge. I'm gonna wrap that right around and round these out. I'm gonna take these corners off. And with the exhaust, we're just gonna put some wings on it. And yeah, I'm playing around with dimpling. I am. And like I said, if it's a 1% gain, that's a 1% gain. Doing that took me less than 10 minutes with a skinny burr. Bought that at Home Depot. Just poking it down in there. Zit, 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 zit. Does it do anything? I don't know. I don't have x-ray vision, and I don't have a built-in dyno. I do feel a difference. There's some other things I'll show you in a minute here that I did. I'm not a scholar. I'm not a I don't want to write things down, but I store things up here, and I've had this saw taken apart, putting back together. I've done a little thing here and there, here and there, here and there. If I had a dyno, I would probably be writing everything down and saying, okay, and doing one modification at a time versus whatever comes to my mind. But in the future, you know, as we go down this road, we'll acquire more tools, more saws, more things, so we can generate more content for you guys. But yeah, you know, if you guys like to tinker, if you like to see what little things do this or that, it's always on my mind, and I'm doing it. Because why not? So I'm gonna put the Dremel on this, and I'll check back in with you guys in a minute. All right, gang. About 15 minutes on the grind. I don't know if I don't know how noticeable that is, but when I look down on it, I can definitely tell there's a lot more volume on the this side. I think I did a pretty good job opening them up. I'm gonna get this other side, come back to you, and then we're gonna get these skirts, ears, whatever you want to call them. All right, guys, I'm in a bit of a rush. I've been sitting on this thing for about an hour. Let's see, they're opened up pretty nicely. Nothing on the exhaust. I cleaned up the chamfers. That was it. And we took a stab at lunging, or whatever you want to call it. Made a nice ramp. Yeah. But yeah, I'm being rushed right now. So I'm gonna take a break from this, and we'll get back to it. We still got to take our whatever you want to call them, off of here. We're gonna do a little homework, see how much we want to take off. I'm gonna flow all of this, try to flow all of this. Guys, I had a freaking pound of, not literally, a pile of aluminum dust shavings. And it wasn't just from hogging that. It was all from here. I don't know if I went a little too thin, but only one way to learn, right? At least for me anyway. So yeah, we did not, I don't know if this changes any numbers around. Actually, I'm gonna do some homework. Yeah, it's not perfectly even. I winged it. I tried my best though, so we'll see how we end up. And yeah, I'll be back with you guys later on. All right, guys. It's late. It got cold. I've been at it since about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is 9:30 at night right now. No, I haven't been going straight through. I took a few breaks. But yeah, we did a lot. We hogged the crap out of these. I know they're not straight across, but we took them down. We're experimenting. Cut those down. Yes, this side is skinnier than this side. Secondary side, primary side. Don't know why I did that. Just felt like the right thing to do, so I did it. Again, we put a little ramp on the intake and lunged it out. I know it ain't the best view because it's the exhaust port. Lunged out our intake. We cut grooves, notches, flatten this out, however you want to call it. So at bottom dead center, our transfers are all the way open. And what took so long was we took our nice caber ring, and it was 80 thousandths all the way around. I took it down to 60 all the way around. 59, 60, 61 all the way around. Low tension ring, gas ported. What we're doing with this saw, I think I said this earlier in the video, we are doing every possible mod that we can do without port or machine work. Guys, and I am starving, so I'm gonna eat a bowl of chili while I'm on camera and talking to you. Oh, and I also, I'm gonna say, opened the mouth on my exhaust. Not drastically. But I ovaled it. And it looks like I might be able to go a little bit further on this side. So I'll do that. I'm drafting, guys. I am drafting. This is a $25 cylinder, and I'm having fun with it. I took a lot out of those transfers. My piston weighed 80 grams when I started. It weighs 77. The ring weighs 2 grams. Yeah, I'm trying to get performance without porting. And what I was talking about earlier, my theory, I don't want to build the saw. I don't want to port it and do all the tricks when it's apart one time and put it all back together and just see what I got. My plan is to do all the little tricks that I know that I see. Anything that's out there, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to run the saw for a while. I want to feel the saw out. And then I'm going to base my port numbers on where I want the saw to perform after I've done everything I can possibly do, shy of piping it. Yeah, the pipe is guaranteed power. We put one on that 353 and it changed the entire saw. I know that's big power, but I am also doing residential tree work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's just not professional to me. If you're out on somebody's property bucking firewood, or you'd let them know ahead of time, hey, I built a chainsaw, it's loud, is it going to bother anybody? I'm just trying to be professional about that, because these straight pipes and UFOs, whatever we got, they're loud, and some people don't appreciate that. So this is a production saw. All I've done to my stock pipe, and yeah, no, I didn't buy ports and rivet them in. I'm not cheap, but I'm making do with what I got. I drilled 3 holes, filed them out, took a chisel shaped punch, parked it right there, and cracked it with a hammer. My flow goes out. I did the same over here. I drilled a hole, I filed it out, and I don't think you can see it, but I slammed a punch right there, and everything goes out to the, I wouldn't say 45-degree angle, but it goes out at an angle. It's not blowing straight at my piece of wood. Yeah, it's louder than stock, but it's a lot quieter than a pipe. It's bearable. You don't need to wear muffs. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I might have shot myself in the foot with this. I don't know. But this is one of those things that has been on my mind. So I did it. I didn't file, I took my tool in there, and I flattened everything out as best as I could. You're on the throttle side, but I took the little stubs off of the screws, I took the heads off of the screws, I just hit them with a burr, rounded everything out. I took the cross shafts and I reamed them down. I tried to open this carburetor up as much as I could. Now, this is an X-Torque carb. Watch this choke, right? Ideally, we'd want it to run flat, right? Choke is on, kinda. Choke is on. Sorry, it was the throttle. Choke is on. When it releases, it wants to fall down. There's the little plastic slide that goes in this carb. I took it out. I read you shouldn't, and now I know why, but I am not taking that apart. My hope is that my my choke lever is going to hold that right where it needs to be. And if it doesn't, we're going to figure out a way to make it stay where it needs to be. Spring, something. We're going to keep it right flush. So, yeah, she's, I'm struggling, guys. I'm exhausted. She's open. She's wide open. I don't know. We'll see. I said in the video the other day, the goal is throttle response. You know, you can read up on it. Better air filter will increase throttle response. It's delivery. We'll throw a bunch of sand in your air filter and see if you got response. That's the method there. That's the theory. So, yeah, we did a lot. We followed the Iron Horse's lead on this one. About a year ago, he put out a little 3 series of videos, stock timing numbers on a Husky 372. We did everything in that video. But we also did our thing to it. Don't know if it's doing anything. But it felt like it was. And I don't know if that's the placebo effect or what. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm terrible at this. We'll get better. I promise. I just want to get videos out for you. I don't know why this it's kind of growing on me. Building the saws, recording. I've never really documented anything personal in my life. I'm camera shy. I don't like the camera, but this is, you know, there's no one behind it. So I guess it's just talking to yourself. I constantly have an internal monologue going. And this is just that kind of spitting out of my mouth. And I enjoy it. Call me crazy, but speak it, believe it, receive it. However you want to call it. I feel like I have an obligation now to do this. And yeah, we're just going to keep doing it. We're going to keep building saws. We're going to keep messing with saws. We'll get more precise. I'm thinking about, I don't want to do it on Sundays, but I'm thinking maybe on Saturdays. We will just, you know, I don't want to say every Saturday. Life gets in the way sometimes, but I'm thinking maybe one Saturday a month or every other Saturday, we will do a full build, start to finish, on live. We'll get a tripod set up. We'll get it so you can see everything that's going on. I can ramble and I can make really, really long videos. But I don't think everybody wants to sit through an hour and a half, 2 hour video of me building a saw. Yeah, it takes a lot longer than that. But I can zip through a lot of the little things that I'm doing in 2 to 3 hours. Like the other day, we took that 353, tore it down, gas ported the ring, put it back together, and we're making a cut within an hour. So obviously once we're ready for, this is going to be the first saw that I port. Like I said, I'm getting it dialed in before port work. I think after everything I've done so far, I think the next step is a pop-up piston. But then I'm looking into the 272, 278, 268. I don't know exactly what Husky model, but it's got a windowed piston. And I was just reading last night that with a little bit of machine work, you can put a 268 or 72 piston in a 372. I'm gonna do a little homework on the benefits of the windowed piston tonight, and we'll see where that goes. But yeah, pop-up piston. We'll see what kind of compression we're making with just a base gasket delete. Other than that, totally stock timing numbers. I haven't moved anything. The only thing I did was lung mat intake. And man, you really see all of your mistakes when you think you're done. Not mistakes, just the inconsistency. But that comes with time. So yeah, like I said, I could talk to myself about this all day. Which is funny because when it comes to tree work, I could talk to myself about it all day. So that's why I'm going for this. But yeah, to say it again, I want to get this saw dialed in pre-port work, pre-machine work. Just with aftermarket bolt-ons and little tricks. And yeah, I'm not building a race saw. That's what the whole method behind the madness of doing everything besides changing the timing. And it isn't going to be that cylinder right there. That thing's garbage. Garbage. There's every port it's the Nicosil's flaking off. Not worth $25. I think what I'm looking into is that. Oh shit. Titan nickel? Titty nickel? Titty pickle? The Highway, the new one, the fancy one, with a nice shiny smooth bore. And look, we're gonna keep the 50 millimeter bore. And when we got a 50 millimeter screamer, we're gonna go to a 52 millimeter bore. And after we think we got the 52 dialed in, I think sky's the limit on this chassis. So yeah, Kyle's really, really interested in getting some pipes built. He's out buying some parts and pieces to put together. Yeah, he's leaning. He saw how much power you can bolt on, so he's really pushing down that avenue. I want a smooth runner. If we can make them more fuel efficient, more power to us. That's my theory behind the dimpling. All right, I dimpled that. I dimpled my combustion chamber. I didn't touch my squish band. I just hit the combustion chamber. And this, remember, as your piston's coming down, you're compressing air. When you take your piston off, look how much oil's under there. You got some stuff going on. I'm just trying to create turbulence inside of there to keep everything in suspension. That, you know, in my mind, that's keep your fuel and oil in atomized, keep your oil in suspension, as little drag as possible and the best airflow as possible. But I think the reality of power is, if you really want more power, buy a bigger saw. And you know, yeah, but I want to try to squeeze, and I'm talking safe power. We're not building race saws. You know, I like torque. I like being dogged into a back cut and being able to let off the gas and hit it and let off and hit it, and the saw doesn't wind up. It's on and off, on and off, wide open to nothing. What do we call it? Crack and pull. I want the crack. I want the response. I want it to go from idle to wide open like that, and not quit in the cut. I want it to dig in, put its seatbelt on, and take off. I'm sorry if this is gross, but I've seen this YouTube video of this girl eating noodles. Yeah. Well, yeah, anyways, guys, a little update on me. I talked to my woman. We spent a few hours together the other night. It was a big relief. A lot of weight off of my shoulders. I was grounded. We had the talk we needed to have. When we both agreed that, you know, we need time to work on ourselves. But, you know, they say if you love something, you let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours. If not, it never was. We'll put that theory to the test. Because I love her very, very much. And I miss her very, very much. And life is not the same. But something brought her into my life. Something pulled us out of each other's lives. It's meant to be, it's meant to be. Anyways, I'm rambling. Back to saws. It's really late. I'm really tired. I'm going to eat like 2 more bowls of chili. And I think I'm going to assemble this tomorrow because I had a long weekend and I'm pretty whooped. So I can keep going, but I started getting in a hurry. That's why I had to go get some food. I started rushing. Got a little heavy-handed with my Dremel. I guess you'll have that. So, yeah. We will. I don't know what just happened. Oh, I'm running out of room on my phone. When I fire them up, I let them idle in the pit for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Just beb, 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 beb. I'll go out every once in a while and quarter crack the throttle just to try to keep everything clean in there. No carbon building up. I don't like the ooze. I'm running rich fuel. I'm at 36 or 32 to 1. Good fuel. Good oil. Like I said, I'm doing silly stuff. Excuse me. I'm doing silly stuff to these motors. And I'm inexperienced. I'm heavy-handed with the Dremel. You know, I don't want to say this is my first time tearing a saw apart and hitting it with one of these. But this is the most I've ever done to one saw in a short period of time. Like, look, if you want to talk about a break-in period, this saw ain't broken in. I've already bucked up about 4 cords of wood with it, maybe 3 cords, or excuse me, a cord, 3 face cords. Actually, yeah, I know it ain't a lot, but that's my point. I tore it apart. I built it, rebuilt it with some silly modifications, and I went right back out and put it in the same wood the same day. I went from a X torque cylinder head to a OE cylinder head in one day. I felled the tree with the X torque and bucked up 2 rounds. Came back here, tore it apart, threw the OE cylinder on, went out and bucked up the rest. No break-in, no heat cycles. I let it idle for 20 minutes. I slowly idled it up, got it up on end, and let her sing, cleared it out, blew all the smoke out, all the carbon. And she was cutting. So, yeah, I mean, I know everybody's got their method. I'm sure we've all blown up at least one saw, dirt bike, something. Look, if you never straight gassed a 2-stroke, God bless. I rebuilt an RM250. I think I put 5 motos on it. And something's telling me I'm not the one to put the fuel in the bike. But we'll say for the sake of things that I'm the one that put the fuel in the bike, and it wasn't mixed. And it was in a mixed can. Ran like no tomorrow, but only for a lap. And yeah, you know what happens. That's how I know how you blow up a 2-stroke. Not enough oil or straight gas, or running it way too lean, or as we're all knowing and learning, that a dull chain. That's not a problem for me. I might be a little too hungry on my chain, but yeah, I'm gonna do this until I run into a problem. I do this quick for like today. I'm kind of taking my time. It's Easter Sunday. I had a big dinner. I came home. I just wanted to putz around in the shop, and I got into it. So yeah, but I'm glad I got settled with a 372 chassis, because there's a lot we can do to this thing. And after we build all these other saws, and I'm stumped, I don't just want to build random saws. The saws that I have, they all have a story, and we'll tell those stories as we build them. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm rambling. I'm tired. I'm starving. I haven't smoked a cigarette in like 8 days, 9 days. I got one of these. It's disgusting. I don't like it. But when I start getting ornery, a little pacifier for me there. But yeah, we got a job to go look at tomorrow on a lake. Big house, nice property, private cabin, big trees, lakeshore trees. So don't know what they are yet, but we will see. And we got the climb that we were supposed to do last Friday. Look, that's kind of Kyle's job. It's his woman's father. So I'm kind of leaving that up to him. And yeah, this week we got a couple climbs. So it's, we're not just going to focus solely on saws, excuse me. This is channel is everything trees, tree work. As a matter of fact, this morning, I picked a pine cone off of a eastern red pine. It was a red pine. And I took the little seeds, pine nuts, whatever they are. I love red pines. I love how they look. I want to bonsai one, and I want to plant a couple out in the yard. So we'll go over that. I'll show you how I do it. We'll see if it works. They sat outside all winter, so in my opinion, there's no reason why they shouldn't germinate. So yeah, you guys. I'm just gonna share my life with you, and right now my life is tree work, chainsaws, power saws. I know. But I gotta say, if I type in chainsaw, I think more people will end up seeing my videos than if I type in power saw. But I do know what it is, so yeah, work with me. But look, I'm still gonna take a shower. I'm gonna go open a bowl of chili, dream about this thing, and yeah, we will take you guys with us to go look at that job too tomorrow or Tuesday. I gotta get a hold of the guy. He's a busy man, so yeah. Stay positive, drink water, love your life. Over and out.